We're back with Craig. And Craig, the Jets have a 10-point lead in the Central Division, a 7-point lead in the West, and they lead the league in goals for and against. Despite all this, FanDuel has 5 teams ahead of them in Stanley Cup odds. So why do the powerhouse Jets continue to be overlooked?
Well, the people setting these odds are the people placing bets, and whether they're placing bets on their favorite team or they don't really believe in the Jets, I don't know. Mystic Mike would say maybe this is a good bet to make. The Winnipeg Jets are a really good team. Obviously, as we head into the trade deadline, you're looking at areas where you can strengthen your team, where you can get a little bit deeper and give yourself that depth, whether it be on the blue line, whether it be in scoring, whether it be with heavier players deeper in your lineup. But at the end of it all, when you start to look at the Winnipeg Jets, you're 50 games in. There's no mirages here. This is a really, really strong team. And I think what surprises me more than anything is not that they're not the favorite. There's 5 teams ahead of them. Sorry, I'm not buying that. So that's where you might want to buy the odds. I'm not a big bettor, but I would say that putting some cashish on the Winnipeg Jets might be a good bet at this point in time, because what they've been able to do, and keep this in mind too, they've had some injuries and they continue to roll along. So when you consider the Winnipeg Jets and how well they've played, maybe they deserve a lot more respect than they're getting.
Well, at least their odds are better now. There used to be 10 teams ahead of them, so they've got that. Now, they've also got Connor Hellebuyck, who is set to make 64 starts this season. This would be the 6th time he started more than 60 games, and with the nice cushion in the standings, Craig, should the Jets try and dial back his workload to try a new approach, which would be a rested Hellebuyck in the playoffs?
A rested Hellebuyck would certainly be a positive for the Winnipeg Jets. And as you talk about the lead that they have, afford some opportunities to put Eric Comrie in the net. And Eric Comrie, in recent games, you've seen him get into the net and perform. He was playing well. They were not giving him very much goal support, so his win-loss record wasn't good. But the Winnipeg Jets are well on the way now to getting Eric Comrie in the net. He's won some games. They've given him the goal support, which is only going to help Connor Hellebuyck. There's also this to keep in mind, Sarah. Connor Hellebuyck, you have to imagine, is going to be playing every game for Team USA in the Four Nations tournament. You know, it's only a maximum of 4 games, but, you know, get Eric Comrie ready and then work through the rest of the season. Make sure that Connor Hellebuyck can play the games that he needs to play. Because the other thing about Connor Hellebuyck, he is a workhorse and he wants to get into the net and play. And because he's so economical in his play, he doesn't waste a lot of energy because his positioning is so strong. So it's not like he's taxing himself in a physical way, but the mental rest and mental fatigue that can set in if you're playing too much is significant. So I think that the Winnipeg Jets are already working to guard themselves against it. But when you have a thoroughbred, and that's what Connor Hellebuyck is, thoroughbreds want to run. So you got to make sure you let him run. And so when the playoffs do begin, he's ready and raring to go.
Oh, yeah, just racing down the track to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Now, FanDuel does have Carolina, Edmonton, Florida, Dallas, and Vegas ahead of Winnipeg in the Stanley Cup odds. But when it comes to the President's Trophy, Craig, I know, and home ice throughout the playoffs, only the Washington Capitals have better odds. That's the way it is right now.